We are down bad over here. Honestly, what's happening right now has been one of my biggest fears as a mom, and I feel like I'm handling it okay. As you guys know, we have been sick for pretty much almost a month now. It's been pretty bad. It's been passing on from kid to kid, and each kid stays sick for about like 7 to 10 days. Clara got sick 4 days ago. Yesterday, it was pretty bad. Symptoms are just like runny nose, cough, congestion. She started to kind of vomit up some mucus that she was working through. Hard time sleeping, hard time eating because she's, can't breathe through her nose. And last night I was like pretty concerned. I've had the owlet sock on her all the time. Every time she sleeps, I have the owlet on her, and sometimes when she's awake, I'll just have the owlet on her. And so yesterday was pretty bad. I woke up with mastitis symptoms. I woke up with a rash. My muscles just like hurt everywhere. I had body aches, chills, headache. It was not good. So I took a nap yesterday with her, and we just pretty much rested all day long because she wasn't feeling good and I wasn't feeling good. And I knew that my mastitis was, in a way, it happened because she's not eating very well right now with her stuffy nose. So I tried to like work through it as much as I could yesterday. She's been waking up like 4 to 5 times a night. But this morning I woke up and I just noticed her breathing just wasn't right. I've been monitoring her very closely throughout this, watching her breathing, just watching her symptoms, if everything's okay to just stay home or if I need to take her in. And this morning, she just sounded horrible, sounded like she was having a really hard time breathing. Her ribs were like not right. There was just something about it just gave me a really bad feeling. So I looked through my app of the owlet sock of her previous night's sleep, and her oxygen was about at 91 to 92. And I was like, oh, that's kind of low. Obviously it didn't go off, so it wasn't alarmingly low, but it was still low. I ran upstairs, I grabbed the owlet, I put it on her, and her oxygen was at 88. I called the nurse, and the nurse was like, if she's having visibly a hard time breathing and her oxygen is at 88 and that is accurate, you need to take her into the ER. So I took her into the Children's Hospital ER. They were so nice to me. The doctor was so nice to me, just feeling so sad for me that I'm dealing with mastitis at the same time, because she was saying that Clara's not going to want to eat right now. They typically feed for about 3 minutes at a time, which with mastitis, you're going to want your baby to eat a lot and for a long time. They gave her a really good suction. They checked her oxygen. There was only one time where it dipped down to 87. Other than that, it was in the 90s, and they felt comfortable with her coming home. When I tell you they sucked everything out of her sinuses, I mean it. I don't know what that machine is that was connected to the wall, but whatever it did, it was magic. It cleared out everything that she had going on. She was able to nurse without any problems. The doctor did tell me that she has RSV, which when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. She said from the way that her lungs sound and the way that she looks, she definitely has RSV. I was like, okay, perfect. I don't know why, but those 3 little letters have been so scary to me ever since the kids have been born. I don't know what it is. I don't know what on social media has scared me so bad about any of my kids getting RSV. But when she said that, I kind of freaked out, because online you don't see good things, especially in babies and that are less than 6 months old. It's not good for babies under 6 months old. It's not good at any point, but you're at a higher risk at under 6 months and then when you're an elderly person. So they monitored her oxygen through a feeding and through a little nap, and her oxygen was pretty good. So they felt comfortable sending me home. They actually sent me home with some saline so that I could use saline to unclog her nose, because that was the only thing that really helped her, was sucking out everything going on, and then she was able to breathe really well. But they were so nice, and this doctor was so worried for me with my mastitis. She saw the rash that I have going on my chest. She's like, this is not good. She's not gonna want to eat right now, and that looks bad, so we're gonna get you a pump in here. So while Clara was sleeping, they brought in a hospital grade pump and had me pump with it. And the difference between my side that is not mastitis affected and the side that is mastitis affected was insane. The doctor came in and was like, I was hoping that this would kind of unclog your duct, but it doesn't look like it did. I was like, no. So she told me to she goes, I know you have a lot going on. I can tell you take really good care of her and you're really worried for her, but you also need to worry about yourself and make sure that you are taking care of yourself, trying to get this duct unclogged. She's like, if you feel like you have body aches or are running a fever, you need to be on antibiotics. So she was very nice and just really worried about my mastitis as well as like what was going on with Clara. She told me that if I have like any mom gut instinct again to go back in, if the owlet alarms to go back in. She said she's never had a child come in from a owlet alarm that didn't need help, which was good to hear because that makes me feel like the owlet is accurate. It's gonna go off if she needs help. She's like, even if it goes off in the middle of the night, you need to take her back in. And I was like, okay. So we were sent home and basically have been resting all day, just with my mastitis stuff going on in her RSV. We've been watching lots of movies. Everyone has taken a shower except for me. That's the plan tonight. I really want to like take a shower and just like try and resolve my issues going on. But I've been just worried about her. I've been holding her all day, just watching her stomach and her breathing all day, checking her oxygen, making sure she's getting fed. The doctor was telling me that typically the child between day 5 and day 7 will stay about the same. So she said to expect her to be about the same for 3 or 4 more days, and then after that she should be getting better, but she could have lingering symptoms for about a month. And when she said that, I was like, what? Like, that's really sad. So yeah, she has a gnarly cough. It's horrible, and I just feel so sad because she's only 4 months old, and I just hate that this is like going on and this has happened. Addie is still the only one that hasn't gotten sick, and me. I haven't gotten sick, and Addie has not gotten sick. So I'm really hoping that Addie doesn't get sick either because she's 2. I feel like RSV is still a risk at 2, almost 3 years old. So I'm just a little freaked out over here. I'm super freaked out. I hate that this is going around our house. I hate that we like have this. This has been one of my biggest fears for the longest time. And so I'm trying not to panic and freak out. I'm trying to stay positive, keep monitoring symptoms, and go in if I feel like we need to. That's a little update, a little life update. The bright side of this is it's making January go by very fast. Like, January is already almost over, and I'm like, thank God. Because we're kind of forced to stay in the house anyway. Like, I'm not taking the kids out when they have RSV. I'm not trying to get anybody else sick. So, we're kind of forced to stay inside, but it's also kind of making the days go by faster. Ben is running out to go get us Chick-fil-A for dinner, because right now, the kids are not eating much, and I'm like, whatever you will eat, you can have. Okay, like I'm so fine with Chick-fil-A for dinner. And then I'm sure I'm just gonna take a shower and we're gonna rest and go to bed here soon. Good morning, everyone. It's the next morning. I can't believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but Clara did so good last night. She, I feel like, is exponentially better than she was yesterday. Definitely an answered prayer. As you can hear, she's still a little coughy. Yesterday at this point, I'm pretty sure we were already at the ER. Actually, that's the first time I've heard her cough this morning. Yesterday morning was so bad. I could hear her like breathing, coughing. She was having such a hard time breathing. I checked her oxygen. It was low, like super scary stuff. I still have her owlet on her right now, so I'm gonna check her oxygen. But she slept so well last night. This morning she woke up with a smile on her face, and I suctioned out her nose, but I mean, I did need to, but it just wasn't as extreme as it was yesterday. And the doctors were telling me that she'd probably be the same that she was yesterday for like 3 or 4 more days. So I was a little bit scared about that. Thank goodness she woke up and she is actually better. Like, she is acting better than she was yesterday, which makes me feel like she's getting better. I have not taken off her owlet this morning because I just keep checking her oxygen to make sure that she's okay. My friend Zoe sent me a Dutch Bros gift card yesterday, which was very sweet. So I am using that this morning, and we're loading everybody up in the car to go get some Dutch Bros since we have been sick. Literally, we have not been anywhere. Ben and I would go to the gym, but the kids have not been anywhere. They've literally been in the house since like the beginning of the year. Not even to the grocery store, like nowhere. Like, they have been in the house. So I think we should just like put them all in the car and go get some Dutch Bros this morning and just kind of get out of the house. So Ben's warming up the car because it's really cold. Let's see how cold it is this morning. 12 degrees right now. Let's go get some coffee. Hi everyone, I'm in much better spirits. It has been like 5 days since we went to the ER, and Clara is doing significantly better. I am very happy to report that she is just getting better every single day, and I'm so happy because RSV is so scary to me. I feel like online and on TikTok and on Reels and people's stories and different, you know, people's testimonies with RSV, like all you hear is like literally really bad outcomes to when babies and toddlers get RSV. like being hospitalized for days and even can end very tragically. So I was just not okay when I got the news that she has RSV. I asked for all of the tips and tricks, and so I want to share this with you. I feel like I really need to share this with people out there. If your baby has RSV, or if you're also terrified of RSV, or if you end up getting RSV, I want to share the things that really helped Claire get through this. First of all, the most important thing, the only thing that like helped her so significantly, like if you can only do one thing, do this thing: suction and saline. When their airways are clogged, it makes it very hard for them to breathe. Their oxygen goes down because they're not getting in enough air. Suction your baby multiple times a day and use saline. If you can, Amazon, something like this. This is what they gave me at the ER. This is full of saline, and you're gonna need something like this to suction out your baby's nose. You're gonna need a lot of saline, and this thing you can squeeze and it'll come out at a more rapid rate than this. I bought this at Target like weeks ago when everybody started to get sick, just in case Clara needed some. And this is just like a little shot, and you can do multiple shots, but it's harder to do that than just to squeeze in saline into their nose. So I recommend this one if your baby is extremely stuffy and has RSV. Get something that's a little bit heavier, if you will, because you are going to need it. I don't have it over here with me, but I used a nose Frida, the thing that you put in your mouth and you suction out the baby. That worked the best for me. You can also use a bulb syringe. They gave me a nose Frida as well at the ER, so I have two now, thank goodness. Spraying in the saline into both nostrils, sucking them out until it's clear. Emphasis on until it's clear. If you have to keep going for up to like a minute, 2 minutes, keep suctioning, do it. Do it until it's clear. I promise it will help so much with the baby's breathing. And I told the doctor at the ER, I was like, I feel like this is really counterproductive because every time I suction out her nose, she just starts crying and her nose is full again. And the doctor was telling me that it's actually not the case. Like when she starts crying and her nose starts running, it's like part of her tears, I guess, like coming down, and it's helping like drain everything out, and it's okay. So if you're worried about, oh my gosh, every time I suction my baby's nose, they start crying and then their nose gets all stuffy again. It's like two different types of mucus, I guess. Like when you suction out all of that mucus, that helps them breathe, and then like the tears actually also help flush the system. That's just what I was told. So I think we were suctioning her out pretty much every time she woke up, or if we felt like she needed it. So like 4 to 5 times a day, sometimes up to 6 times. If you like this, use this. I don't prefer this because it just puts a little spray in. Get something like this. It will like really get the saline in there so that you can suction everything out. And this, if the nose seems like it's dry, put some more in there, suction more out. I guarantee you'll get more out. So this was the biggest thing. If you do one thing, do this: suction and saline. It literally made such a difference in her oxygen levels, her ability to eat. Use this. Other things that helped are these little boogie bath salts. I would steam up a bathroom. Like I would literally put the water as hot as it can, shut the door, steam up the bathroom, and then I would turn it down, fill the bath, put her little bathtub in there, like make it baby temperature. And then I would put these Breathe Frida, which these are like vapor drops. You could put these in the bath, or most of the time I would use these bath salts. You just sprinkle some in there and it makes it just like smell, it makes it clear their airways. And I would just sit in there with her for long periods of time, up to like 30 minutes at a time, would just sit in the bath with her. She would just kind of, I don't know, she likes the bath, so it was easy to have her in there for about 30 minutes and let her sinuses kind of clear out, and then I could also suction her out after that. So the next thing is a nebulizer. Now, I didn't realize that this, I think this is, yeah, Frida nebulizer. This does not come with any saline, and you need to put like either saline or medicine in here. So if you get this thing is like $40, and it is reusable, it's washable, it's very nice, but it doesn't come with any saline. So you're going to need to like buy some saline and fill it up. I actually used this. I was like squirting it in there because I didn't have any other option. It also needs to be charged, and then you can put this. I have this on there. She didn't like the mask on her face, so you just turn it on. I don't know if you, oh yeah, you can see that. You can put it up to their mouth, and that really helps with coughing. Suction helps with like the sinuses and the mucus, but this helps, in my opinion, with the coughing and like the airways. It really makes them like kind of open up a little bit more. And so anytime she would be coughing really bad, I'd use the nebulizer and that would help a lot. The other thing is a humidifier. At night, you can also put these KBandBaby drops in there and it helps the nose clear up. The other big thing that was so important for her and for me was the owlet sock. I cannot emphasize enough how much I use the owlet sock. I think it was on her about 90% of the day. And thank goodness, you know what? I am hoping that Owlet will sponsor me because I am so ride or die Owlet after this. She has had the Owlet on her every single night for the past 4 months, and that's for a very different reason. But I've had this on her pretty much 90% of the day ever since that she has gotten sick. It has helped so much with telling me what she needs, her oxygen levels, how she's sleeping, and this thing charges so fast. Like, I can put it on there for 30 minutes and it's almost fully charged. So there's not a long period of the day where she doesn't have it on. And it has a very long battery life. Like, I am so impressed with it. It charges, I'm telling you, within like 30 or 45 minutes, you pretty much have a full charge and it lasts like 12 to 18 hours. That's probably not an accurate statement, but relatively accurate. I know the Owlet is expensive and it is kind of a commitment and it is a big purchase. If you can buy it, if you can afford it, I highly recommend it, not just for peace of mind with newborn sleep, but peace of mind when they get sick. Like, I cannot emphasize enough how much better this made me feel. I was able to go to the gym and I would leave the Owlet on her with Ben and I could look while I was at the gym what her oxygen levels were. Maybe that's a little obsessive, I don't know, but RSV is extremely scary to me and I just wanted to make sure that she was okay, and having peace of mind knowing what her oxygen levels were at was incredibly, incredibly helpful. So if you can afford it, if you can buy it, or if you can put it on your registry or a wish list or something like that, I can't emphasize enough how much I recommend the Owlet sock. And it was actually reassuring to hear the ER doctor say that she's had babies come in with an Owlet sock that alerted and they actually needed help. So it is ER doctor approved, I guess. The other things that I did for her is whenever I would shower, I would just bring her in there with me to steam up a bathroom, have her just sit in a steamy bathroom, holding her upright as much as possible. I pretty much held her for all of her naps because of how scared I was, and just holding her upright, not flat, was extremely helpful as well for like the drainage going on. I'm trying to think of the other things that I did. Those were pretty much it. Like, those were the main things that I did to really help her, help me be better. Now, it's different. The ER doctor said that the other kids probably have RSV as well. They just handle it better than her. We did things very differently with the kids than we did with her. There wasn't like suctioning going on with my 6-year-old, but if you guys want to know those tips, I can definitely share those because they're very different. Also, look up what labored breathing looks like. Look at what that looks like, study it, ingrain it into your brain what that looks like. And if you see your baby having trouble breathing, it's like retractions, labored breathing, take them into the hospital and go get them evaluated. That is another sign that they're having trouble breathing. They're having a really hard time getting oxygen into their body. That's another way to make sure that you know when to go into the hospital. Those are all my tips. I'm so very grateful and thankful for everyone who has prayed for our family and kept us in your thoughts and prayers. We feel it tremendously over here. Every single day she gets better and better and better, and I definitely have, you know, more of a happy tone to me than I did at the beginning of this video when I found out. For anyone who's gonna go through an RSV season this year, I'm so sorry. This is so scary. I never wish this upon anybody. Hopefully these tips are helpful and they give you a little bit more peace of mind if you are going through this or if you're scared of this as well. So anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you again for all of the kind words, advice, prayers, thoughts. Like, it seriously means so much to me and my family, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye guys.